I think her second outing on the world stage. Obviously, we're no longer in the European Union, but this is a meeting of European leaders. What's she hoping to say to the domestic audience here?
Yeah, really fascinating, isn't it, that she's actually made this visit in many ways, Gloria, to what is effectively the brainchild of Emmanuel Macron, the French president, who only a couple of months ago she was tossing up whether he was a friend or foe, though we're told by the Prime Minister that was just a bit of banter, and he's definitely a friend. This European political group, or the community as they're calling it, is a grouping beyond the European Union. So there are 27 member states of the European Union. This is actually 44 nations meeting. So it's not just the UK, it's places like Turkey and Norway and Azerbaijan and lots of the Western Balkan countries. Ukraine is part of it as well, though President Zelensky, unsurprisingly, is having to dial in rather than being physically here in person. Two notable exceptions, that is Russia and Belarus. And in essence, this is a kind of summit for peace is how it's been branded, looking at kind of three main aspects where there is a genuine European cause, if you like, or a coordination and a need for deeper ties when it comes to energy security, supporting Ukraine during that war, and also on the issue of migration. And I think in many ways Liz Truss' argument is, yes, I know you supported Brexit and I did too, well, after the referendum at least anyway, and I get that you're a bit cautious about this kind of idea of another European body, if you like. But in the end, she says that when it comes to these big issues, they can only really be dealt with through cooperation, like migration, for example, and that she feels that if Britain is to be part of that, she wants to be there at the table. She wants to have her say, be heard, put across Britain's point of view. And I think that's really notable, really particularly on Ukraine, where there's been a very deliberate attempt, particularly by the British government, to build up this kind of Western alliance in support of President Zelensky, which has clearly been much appreciated by them. And this is, in essence, an attempt to, again, present that very united front.
We may even get a meeting in London inviting everyone back home for tea and toast and talks. I mean, it's very different mood music to the Johnson administration.
Yeah, I think it is. There's very deliberate attempts here to kind of reach out, if you like, to people on the continent. And again, maybe that's not a surprise. I mean, let's take the issue of migration, Mark. Good example. A couple of dozen people very sadly died trying to get to Lesbos in Greece in the last 24 hours or so. It is a reminder that the whole continent is grappling with this issue. Clearly, the people who end up on the north coast of France have come through Europe. If Liz Truss wants to sort out the small boats crisis, she needs the cooperation of other European countries, most particularly, of course, France. And that is why she's actually having a second meeting with Emmanuel Macron, because she did meet him in New York at that UN General Assembly just a couple of weeks ago. She's also meeting with Mark Rutte, the Netherlands Prime Minister, maybe even Ursula von der Leyen. And she's already had a meeting with the Czech Prime Minister where they talked about actually the strong agreement on the importance of trying to present that united front when it comes to democracies and Putin's brutality, but also trying to deal with those really important issues such as migration. So yes, it is a different approach, certainly a different sense of tone. It is with caution. I think they're trying to work out how today goes, and Liz Truss is only here until later on tonight, so it's, not a kind of full-blown thing. But clearly they're very keen, I think, on this idea of greater cooperation, hence why she's reached out that idea of hosting potentially another summit within 6 months in London. But as I say, I think today's a test to see how it all goes.